Next, we have Shyam Malhotra. Am I pronouncing that correctly? As Shyam is coming up to the platform, I'll introduce him. Shyam blends in his coaching years of varied corporate experience, a passion for working with people, and a process-driven approach which delivers across different functions and organizational levels. He's one of the very few credentialed coaches in India, is an associate certified coach, ACC, and member of the International Coach Federation, which is another governing body like the IIC. He has undergone programs on intensive coach training, Coach's Toolkit, and executive coaching from Results Coaching Systems, which is a coach training company in India, and has the Results Certificate of Advanced Coaching Skills. He's also a qualified and accredited administrator for the MBTI. I'm sure you all know what that is. He has over 500 hours of coaching experience with middle to senior level executives. He has also conducted the coaching manager programs. He conducts training and facilitation programs in the areas harnessing peer power, delegation that works, communication that works, applied motivation, feedback for change, and other areas of management. Can we put our hands together to welcome Shyam Malhotra? Thank you.
Good morning. That's the fourth time you have been asked to say good morning loudly. Okay, so what I was asked to do in 5 minutes was cover a journey for me of 5 years, because I started coaching about 5 years back. And I think I was asked to elaborate on two things. One was, what am I delivering to my coaches, and what are some of the challenges that I have had to overcome in terms of becoming a professional coach. I'm not sure what professional means, but since it has been said, I'll stay with it. Okay, as far as the what I deliver to the coaches is concerned, I thought about it and then I said, let me use what my coaches have told me. So I extracted a few things which are also there on my profile from their emails or whatever statements that they have made at the end. It sounds like a bit of a commercial, but I have obviously picked up the better things that they have said. So let me read that out. And I think when I was listening to what was being said earlier, there were quite a few things which were common, and I will kind of point that out at the end. And we come from different... it's okay. It's a little reading, sir. We come from different governing agencies, but maybe the purposes of coaching are all the same. Okay, so here's one. These are in no particular order. I've just collected them. I want to acknowledge you for instilling in me a sense of clarity and purpose, enthusing confidence in me, and showing me the path to achieve many other goals. This is one gentleman I worked with. On a personal front, I am greatly indebted to you for changing the course of my life. I want to acknowledge you for making my life better. I was leading a miserable life before I enrolled for this coaching. I hope it's still the same for him. This coaching has built my inner confidence as I started noticing and acknowledging what I do. The best thing that has come out of the coaching is that I know that in case there's a problem or situation that I'm not able to deal with, I can use this technique and gradually it will be solved. So I see this process as a lifeline. I have overcome my inability to work with different sets of people and developed the ability to figure out and fix my own weaknesses. Now I let the ghosts of the future remain in the future. You inspire and have the ability to help raise the bar. On the professional front, I have been able to not only surpass my yearly sales targets, but overachieve my numbers, making me one of the top performers in my region. My coach helped me see beyond my experiential limitations. My coach made me aware and sensitized to habits I may have developed in my workplace. A great coach, you can create leaders out of ordinary people. Things that I want to acknowledge my coach for showing me the many different perspectives of the same situation, for making me relive conflicts to resolve them. And the last one, which I like the best, it was in an email, thank you so much, except that all the letters were capital. They were not in the normal this thing, which I thought was a very nice way of acknowledging what I had done with that, whatever I had done with that person. The commonality that I saw was, I believe at the end of the day, a coach only delivers two things: a clarity of purpose and a confidence to go about achieving it. with so many expectations around us these days, with so many kind of inputs that we get, expectations from home, career, self, society, very often we lose the where do we want to reach? And like that old saying, no wind is right for a ship which has no destination. And I find that in most of the discussions that I have with people that I work with, the initial time actually goes in figuring out, is this really what I want to do? And I believe that most of the people that I've been lucky to work with have the ability. It's just that the destination is not clear, so we go around in all directions. And once the destination becomes clear, once the goal becomes clear, it becomes relatively easy to find the routes from there. So if that clarity of purpose can come in, I think the coach has done, in my opinion, maybe 75% of the job. The balance 25% is to through a process of self-discovery and awareness, keep on building the confidence that is needed to take on a new path. Because habits are good, loyal friends, they never go away. They are also like Indian guests who kind of drop in unexpectedly all the time. So we need to keep working in them, and maybe in a period of 3 months, 6 months, new habits come. They become the new flyovers that we take instead of the old roads. In short, that is what I believe I deliver, or I try to deliver from the coaching engagements that I have had. And it's nice to know from some of the people, at least, whose comments I read out, that it's working for some of them. That brings me to the second part, the challenges that I faced in becoming a professional coach. Well, unlike some of the other people on the panel and many of you here, I have a very different background. I'm not an HR professional. I'm not a psychology graduate. I actually ran and built a company for 20 years. I built a 100-odd crore plus business along with a friend, a company called Cyber Media. And then about 5-odd years back, in 2005, I discovered that the only thing that I was doing was actually talking and trying to develop my people. Because, you know, as the company was growing, people were coming up and many of them wanted my chair. And if you see a magazine, there's a masthead. And on the masthead, the guy who comes at the top, and I got a little worried that one more kick and I'll be out of the page. So I might as well do something which is going to be a little different, a bit like grandparents shifting to the second floor and then upwards. So I said, okay, if I'm going to be working with people all the time, I might as well get more qualified for that. I didn't know anything about coaching at that point of time. I had absolutely no clue. So I just kind of started looking around, and I discovered, and 2005 was a bit early perhaps for coaching in India. Started looking around and, okay, it sounded interesting. And I think I probably took one of the first programs, training programs, which was offered by Results Coaching Systems through Franklin Covey. I wasn't there, what they call the first batch. So I took that, and then I went on, and we didn't know about the International Institute of Coaching at that point of time. So I went ahead and got my credentialing done with the International Coach Federation, which was about 2.5 years back, 3 years back now almost. So that was a bit of a challenge because I was coming from a completely different field, a completely different way of thinking. And to make that change was not easy for me. I must confess very honestly that it's still a bit of a change, a bit of a challenge. After having been a manager for 25, 30 years, that manager hat refuses to go away. It keeps creeping back in. So the need to tell, especially when, hey, I know that answer. I know how that can be done, and I really want to share it. I have to keep holding myself back, and I guess that's where the mentoring piece starts fitting into the overall framework. I think in India, and I see this as a difference in the model between what is followed in Western countries, I think the acceptance to suggestions is a little higher in our country. Maybe it's our social system. We don't mind being told what to do. We may not do it later, that's a different matter. That's where the energy has to be built in by the coach. But we don't mind being told, hey, follow this particular path. So the second challenge that I'm still currently working with and trying to make a better job of it is to see how I can be less of a manager and more of a coach. Professionally, from a business viewpoint, this is still a growing industry, and I think the coach training industry is bigger than the coaching industry as of now in the country. Hopefully it will change a bit in the future. I've done work with various companies, Microsoft, HCL Technologies, Deloitte Consulting, Whirlpool. Most of it is word of mouth or my LinkedIn profiles or my ICF credentialing. I've really not gone and done any complete marketing for myself so far. One of the reasons is that I'm still a director with Cyber Media, so I'm devoting a part of my time to that activity and partly to this. So that's on the business front, and some of you who are aspiring to be coaches possibly during the rest of the day or a little later would want to consider that a little more. I think I've exceeded my 5 minutes a little bit. My apologies for that. Thank you so much.
All right. Here's some noise for Mr. Shyam. Yes. Woohoo!